mutual funds, everything that could affect your finances. Subscribe with your credit card now and get 17 weeks of Barron's for the price of 13. That's 4 more opportunities to turn money into wealth. Get 17.
Right at the end of the last round, Phillips doing his best work, really. A nice combination, and Freddie Steinweider getting in quickly. But a round that otherwise Julian Jackson had more good moments, but Phillips comes out firing in this round.
Round number 7 underway. We'll take a look at numbers through 6 rounds.
Verno Phillips with an edge, but not a huge edge in the punch numbers. And Phillips throwing more punches and landing at a little bit better clip. Neither man landing at a terrific pace. Much of that work that Jackson has done in the last couple rounds has been to the body. Also, you'll notice the bout is being fought at closer quarters than it was earlier. That presumably is good for Julian Jackson.
Plenty of ring to work with. Measures 22 feet by 22 feet inside the ropes.
Don't hold inside.
Phillips is no stranger to being in with big punches. He won the WBO championship from Lupe Aquino, who was a very big puncher at the junior middleweight level. Jackson. Wow, he is wailing away with that right hand. I have Phillips ahead by 2 points.
I have it even. Round 4 was that one round that could have gone either way.
No question, Julian Jackson is picking up the steam. So much for the form chart. In theory, these should be the rounds in which Verno Phillips is starting to take some control. Instead, it is Jackson. And why is some of that happening? Because of the body work that Jackson has done.
His corner gave him that advice. His caution for a low shot. His corner gave Jackson that advice after the 3rd round, and he has followed suit. Late power after the 6th round. Phillips has 4 knockouts. Jackson has 5.
And here comes Phillips hurting Jackson with a left and a right. 4 times before, Jackson has been knocked out in his career. 3 times to world champions. And now he is on his bicycle. That is not the posture that you normally see Julian Jackson in. So what was a great round for Jackson is now turning out to be a nightmare.
Verno Phillips turning it on late here in round 7. Chopping rights from the champion Phillips. Referee Fred Steinweider III steps in.
Can 37-year-old Julian Jackson come back after a bad round like this in the middle of a fight when he's not used to going the long way? Hey, maybe he can. He just whacked Phillips with a good right hand.
Julian Jackson's turn to answer. What a round 7 between Jackson and Phillips.
Can your radio do this?
In what was a wild round of give and take, twice Verno Phillips really had the big advantage there, and then toward the end of the round had Julian Jackson in all kinds of trouble. So while parts of it were very big for Phillips, Jackson also had his moments in that round, but how much did that take its toll on Jackson, being hurt in that round?
Take a look at numbers in round 7 only. Tight.
You see, it was not that big an edge for Phillips. I think he probably hurt Jackson more than Jackson hurt him, and that will probably stay in the judge's mind. And the power shots in round 7, 29 landed for Jackson, 31 for Phillips. So it was very close in that sense, too. They both landed about 60% of their power punches in that round.
That was just a great round.
It really was. You know, Phillips with an excellent left hook. And I think he's got Jackson hurt again. This is not posture that Jackson is used to using the ring in boxing.
No. He's happy it's a big ring right now.
Verno Phillips getting very bold. Will that serve him well? Could he walk into something that Jackson would throw?
Neither man has been down in this bout. Scheduled for 12, just past the midway point of round 8.
You know, Verno Phillips has not scored a KO since 1994. That was 8 fights ago.
Until the one against Neocana.
Right, until the one against Neocana, that's right. And then, but before that, he'd gone a long time without having a knockout, and he would love to turn on the power against Julian Jackson.
Yeah, it was 3 years and 1 month before the Neocana fight in which he scored a knockout.
He has boxed very well for the most part against Jackson. And when Jackson has been able to land the big shot, Verno's been able to withstand it. Many believed this bout would be over by now, one way or the other. And if that didn't mean that Jackson had to be the winner. Even though early knockouts are his forte, he also can be knocked out.
Slower pace here in round 8. Again, Phillips loading up with that left hook. Verno Phillips defending his WBU Junior Middleweight Championship against 3-time world champion Julian Jackson. Hope you're enjoying it on ESPN's Championship Boxing.
You got us a piece of the frontier for $8.
I sold 99 cents for $12.
Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
Welcome back to the Grand Casino in Tunica, Mississippi. Bob Papa along with Al Bernstein. Round 9 underway between Verno Phillips, the WBU Junior Middleweight Champion, defending his title, against former 3-time world champion Julian Jackson. We take a look at the punches in round 8. Big round for Phillips.
Phillips having a huge round and becoming more and more bold in what he does to Julian Jackson. And of course, we've talked about the length of fights. Jackson has only been past 9 rounds 5 times, and many more for Verno Phillips.
In his last 10 bouts, Phillips averages about 11 rounds per bout, which A means he's been going a long way, and B means he's been in a lot of title fights.
This is territory that Verno understands. He's a workman. Doesn't knock people out early with one punch usually. Using this round, round 9, to further extend this fight, which he thinks only works to his benefit. Speaking of extending, my Chicago Bulls extended your New Jersey Nets to overtime and beat them by 2 points, 100 to 98. That's a rough one for the Nets, but a moral victory. Does that help?
Well, they had a good. Well, they're out of. John Calipari says no more moral victories.
Okay.
Changing the culture. Good left. There goes Jackson. A short left from Phillips puts Jackson down here in round 9. And I don't think Jackson's going to answer. Fred Steinwander at 9. That's it. And maybe it's all over for Julian Jackson. Verno Phillips stops Julian Jackson with a short left in round 9 and successfully defends his WBU Junior Middleweight title.
For Verno Phillips, he was looking for just this kind of win to put himself once again on the junior middleweight map. He has certainly done that and more. This was one of his absolute best performances, if not the best performance he's had as a pro. And if there was any lack of respect before, it certainly is there now for Verno Phillips.
Verno Phillips impressive against Julian Jackson, and Al, ironically, it was Jackson's power punch by Phillips that put Jackson out.
It was the left hook by Phillips, the punch we thought Jackson would have to land. We see the left hook. We see the left hook of Julian Jackson landing on Julian Jackson against Verno Phillips, and Jackson's still on the canvas, and we hope he'll be all right. But for Verno Phillips, a win fashioned with power.
And right now they're huddled around Julian Jackson. He's talking with the doctor, and there is 28-year-old Verno Phillips. He gets his 30th victory, his 15th knockout. He defends his WBU Junior Middleweight Championship, stopping Julian Jackson in round 9. We'll hear from Verno after this timeout.
So instead of winning the series, they now go to a pivotal Game 7. Rich?
If you're really into sports, you'll really be into new ESPN, the magazine, issue after issue. You'll be involved like no sports magazine ever involved you before.
Do we have a problem here?
ESPN, the magazine, is big. Bigger in size, bigger with news, pictures, player profiles, inside information, and amazing access to places you've never been before. So call now for ESPN, the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth, for just $1 an issue, saving you over 66% off the newsstand price. And you'll get this great freebie.
T-shirt.
The ESPN, the magazine T-shirt, 100% cotton with the world.